Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about my MEPS experience. Once again, this is my experience. Can't talk about everybody else's. I went at a different time, so it may be different than everybody else. Um, I went on a Thursday and Friday. I went March 30th and 31st. I didn't have a lot of people. So, with that being said, MEPS was not that difficult. I know everyone preaches, the hurry up and wait. You're going to be sitting there, you're going to have to deal with it. It's going to be long, it's going to be boring. Mine wasn't. It wasn't that bad. There was only 9 people. It was 9 of us, okay? The most boring part was us sitting in a waiting room watching Sports Center, which was fine with me because I love Sports Center. um, so, like I said, mine wasn't that difficult as far as all the waiting goes. Um, so, the first thing that happens is you show up to your recruiter's office the day of that you're going to leave to MEPS. I live in Lubbock, so mine was in Amarillo. It's only like an hour and 45-minute drive. Wasn't that bad. You get on the shuttle. They take you to MEPS. If you haven't taken the ASVAB yet, I hadn't, so they take you straight to MEPS. You get there. It's fairly simple the first day. You just show up. You go to the front desk. You sign in. You let them know you're there. They'll put you in a waiting room. Give you, 2 sheets, basically giving you, the overview of what you're going to take on the test. You go in, you take the test. Mine was on a computer. I believe everyone should be on a computer nowadays. If you need to take a break at all during your test, they should have like a help button. And what that does is, say you had, for me, I had 73 minutes for the math portion, for arithmetic reasoning. And I needed to go to the restroom. And I was probably at the 24-minute mark. And so when I paused the test and asked for help, went to the restroom, came back, and it was still at 24 minutes. So if you're concerned about losing time by going to the restroom or stepping out to blow your nose, you're not going to lose any time. It should stay put. You get done with the test. They put you in another waiting room until everyone's done with testing. And then they take you to the hotel. The hotel shouldn't be far from wherever your MEP center is. You get to the hotel. You meet your liaison. He'll take you up to the lounge. You guys get signed in. He should give you your room key, and he should give you a sheet of paper having what time you need to wake up, what time you need to be downstairs, and what time you guys leave. So I got my room key, went to my room, put my bags down, went downstairs, got something to eat. You get a free meal for dinner. Just talk it up with your peers that are there. Like I said, there wasn't a lot of people. Me, at least that night, it was just 2 other girls and my roommate, who's a guy. We just sat there, we talked. So you don't want to spend too much time up, because like I said, you have to get up at 4:30. So ate dinner, wrapped it up, went upstairs, took a shower, went to bed, and they will call you. They will call your room. So just know that. You can go ahead and set an alarm on your phone if you want, but they will call your room. That will be your wake-up call. They will call once, and it's basically just like a beeper on the phone, and so you can pick it up and put it back down. But they're gonna call 5 minutes later, so you're gonna have to get up. And this time, when they call the second time, they will ask, "Is everybody up? Okay." You have to be downstairs by 5 o'clock. Basically, making sure you're awake and you're aware that hey, you have to, you have to be downstairs. And you have 30 minutes to get downstairs. Really not that long. I mean, I'm a guy, my roommate's a guy. It didn't take that long for us to get ready and get downstairs. Take your bags with you because you won't be staying another night. So just make sure you have all your stuff with you, and make sure you have your room key because you're also going to turn that in. Our breakfast was unlimited. I mean, I wouldn't go all out on it, but I mean, I got a second plate. I was pretty hungry. Make sure you drink a lot of water in the morning. Hydrate yourself because obviously you will have to take the pee test later when you're at MEPS. Get 40 minutes to eat, so we left at 5:40. Get on the shuttle, went back to MEPS. They put you in another room. After they give you your folder, you're going to be carrying around a folder all day, basically with all your information. They put you in a room all together. It's like a classroom. They basically go over your medical documents. You'll just be filling out, yes or no to certain questions. As far as like medical history, and they'll give you a briefing. It's about like an hour and a half, at least mine was. And after your morning brief, and in that brief, we had got a laminated sheet, one for guys, one for girls, just explaining what the physical is going to be like, so you know what to expect. So whenever it goes down, you can't be like, what, I didn't know I was supposed to have to do this, or the doc was going to do that. They give you a sheet that explains what's going to happen. And after that is when the test starts. for example, I had to, go pee immediately. So I had told him, I was like, hey, look, I have to use the restroom. Like, can I do the pee test now? And I can't speak for girls. I don't know what they do. But for guys, they just took us in the restroom. And from what I had heard from a lot of people is they're going to like watch you pee. And I thought they were going to be like, oh, hey, son, go ahead and pee in this cup right here. They're going to like watch you or something. No. Took us in the bathroom. They're just in the restroom. Well, like I said, at least for me, they were just in the restroom. We had urinals. Just pee in the cup. Give it to them, sign your name, whatever. After that is like when this whole carousel of, you know, test starts. So I went and saw the doc for the first time, which everybody does. But initially, he's just checking, your eyes, your ears, um, your throat. He's gonna like feel your neck and your back and all that stuff. So you go back to the waiting room and they say, "Hey, have you gotten your hearing done?" No, you go get your hearing done. You put on the headphones. If you hear a beep, click. If you hear a beep here, click. Simple. They give you your vision test, which one test to see if you're colorblind. It's where they have just pieces of paper with numbers on it that kind of blend in, and they say, "What number do you see on this one? What number do you see on this one?" They just try to see if you're colorblind, and they do like little optics tests, like, oh, do you prefer one or do you prefer two? Okay, two or three. So that's like the vision test. They will take blood. It's not that painful. I'm not like squeamish or anything, but I just was like, hey, here's my arm, have at it. Took like 2 minutes. Not that bad. Like I said, it's not that boring. It's not that bad because you're constantly moving back and forth to go into this test, to this test, to this test. They don't take that long. And so after I had got done with all my stuff, I was sitting back in the waiting room, just watching TV, and it wasn't that bad. It's not that boring. So when they actually performed the physical, um, it's gonna be cold. They put us in a room, and it was freaking cold. Um, you go in this big empty room. All the other people that are there with you. So it was me and three other guys. They basically tell you sit on the bench, wait for the doc to come in. The only thing that sucked though is for us, they made us like strip down, and then we're sitting on the benches and it's cold. And he's like, "All right, I'll be back," and he left. And he left for like 10 minutes, and so we're just sitting there like in the cold, freezing, not knowing when he's gonna come back. And he finally comes back, and he's like, "Oh, okay, guys, like let's go ahead and take your height and weight." They'll take your height, they'll take your weight, and once again, my freaking, doc was like, "I'll be back," left. Finally comes back after about 15 minutes again. We're still freezing cold, and finally is where we have to do, like the famous duck walk and all this other crazy stuff. Once again, well, it's kind of not hard, but there's some parts that are hard. Um, so you start off with like, I don't know, rotating your hands, rotating your arms, and the doc is there and he's watching. Once he sees everybody do it, and like I said, there was only four of us, so it didn't take that long. All right, next one. And then, you like stand on one leg and kick your leg or something, like something simple. Then you have to do the duck walk, and that's not that hard. They only make you duck walk, from like one side of the room to the other. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up because I'm not gonna do it. There's one part that's like kind of difficult. I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it kind of hurts. But don't let them know it hurts. Where you have to like, you're on your knees and you have to like walk on your knees five steps, and you turn around and walk back five more on your knees. That sucks. And there's one point where you're like kind of squatting down, like your calves are touching your thighs. Like you're almost squatting like a catcher, like a baseball catcher. And in that position, you have to just drop on your knees simultaneously. I messed up like twice, where I did one knee and then the other. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like da da. You just have to go right there on your knees, right on the hard tile, and that kind of sucks also. But don't go don't make any noise. Just do it. Don't let them see anything. Don't let them know if it hurts or nothing. Once again, you're doing all this in your underwear. Okay, so you're doing it all in your underwear. The duck walk, the stretches, the everything. When they take your height and weight, you're in your underwear. That's why it sucks. Let me tell you something. It's not awkward that you're undressed with like other people. That's not that bad. That's not why you want to put your clothes on. You're not there because, like, oh man, I'm so insecure. No, no. The only reason why you want to put your clothes on at that point is because it's freaking cold. All right, you feel like you're gonna die. Okay, that's the only reason why you want to put your clothes on. You're like, hey man, let's wrap this up because I'm cold. It's the only reason why. So, after you do all your stretches and all that, basically just line up against the wall. The doc will call you in one by one, so you can do his physical. Um, if you're a girl and the doctor is a guy, you will automatically have a chaperone in there who will be a female. So if you're female, you will always have a female chaperone if your doctor is a male. If you're a male and your doctor is a female, you will automatically have a male chaperone. For us, since we were guys and the doctor was a guy, they say, hey, do you want one? Me, I was like, no, I don't care. You go in there, you show them your hands, you show them the bottom of your feet, you bend over and show them your spine. My physical took like 3 minutes. This is what gets most people. They have to look inside your anus. Like, they're not like peeking in there, but you just have to bend over and they just have to look at it. It's super quick because I heard all about that leading up to this thing. Everyone makes jokes about it. Man, it was over like that. It was like cough, cough. All right, turn around. All right, you're good, son. You're in the army. All in all, wasn't that bad. The physical's over with. I think that's the part that most people dread the most. Um, Unless, you played sports and you're used to it or whatever. That's cool. Some people, I guess maybe the paperwork might be the worst part of it. That's not that hard either. Like I said, for me, it was a small group of people, went by fast, wasn't that boring. We watched TV in the parts that we weren't doing anything. After you get everything done, your hearing, vision, all that, and you do your physical, that's when they have you sit down for a little bit. They finalize your paperwork as far as like the medical stuff, and they hand it to you. They say, all right, take it to the front desk, let them know that you passed all your medical exams and that you're ready to go pick your job. And so once you're done with that, that's when you go see your guidance counselor. You go finalize your paperwork. He'll, show you jobs that you qualified for. I'll go more into depth on that in another video. I'll make that separate. So, if you want to figure out what it's kind of like with that process, I'll go ahead and make another video. Maybe it'll be a little shorter. Make friends, talk to people. You guys will all get through it. So, see you guys later.